Hello and God bless you. My name is Linda Munoz, and today I want to tell you a little bit about my story and what I have been working on, and just extend an invite if you want to be part of what I am doing. So, I am working to overcome feelings of rejection, and I really didn't realize for many years I was struggling with rejection. Rejection was something that was taking over my life, completely consuming me, affecting my friendships, affecting my jobs, and really trying to destroy a lot of my life and even my family, cause separation in my family. And it wasn't until, let's see, it was in around August, September, and now we are in the end of July. Many months ago, the Lord revealed to me that I had a root of rejection. And he showed me this tree when he told me that I had a root of rejection. The deeps, think of like an oak tree. The tree was huge and the roots were so deep. And he told me that he wanted to remove that root of rejection. And I gained understanding that that rejection was affecting my life. It is a toxic thought. It is a mentality that I had developed since birth. So the Lord gave me a process to work through called the Nero Cycle. Was first introduced to Dr. Caroline Leaf. I think I found her some random night when I was suffering through insomnia, which turned out to be a result of my rejection, which is part of my story. But one night when I was battling with insomnia, and the time that this was revealed actually was during COVID, to just make it worse. I feel like COVID was just this pressure test, and everything just got pressurized, and anything that was weak just kind of broke or collapsed, or maybe things just exploded if they were about to burst. And kind of what happened through COVID was just that trigger. It was just a trigger, a great trigger, or many triggers were provoked on the rejection root that I had, or the rejection was so much worse to deal with. And so had terrible insomnia, and the Lord had showed me this, and I honestly can't remember the exact timing of everything, of which one happened first, but I knew that he showed me I had insomnia. And then I was looking, I think, online for something about insomnia, or I found Dr. Caroline Leaf in her podcast. I love her, recommend her. She is amazing. I found her and followed some of her pages, or followed some of her podcasts that she had, and I came to learn about the Neurocycle and her book, The Cleaning Up the Mental Mess. And they talk also about the Neurocycle method, that is a 5-step method used to detox and your mind and clean up your mental mess. And I definitely, needed some cleaning up in my mental mess. And so in short, I started with a book, went to our conference, found out about the Neurocycle, and found out that they were going to be, I heard amazing testimonies. I mean, I heard of people that had traumatic brain injury, that using these steps were able to walk again, that were restored. People that were totally by society dismissed and told that they weren't good for anything, they couldn't learn. This neurocycle process helped them to be able to learn, to excel. People that were failing classes were recognized and academically. And I heard of the power of this neurocycle, and I knew at that time that I went to the conference that I needed to work on rejection. And the Lord even showed me how the insomnia was a result of the rejection. I am a Christian, a believer of Christ, and a follower of Jesus Christ. And so when I would go to do the Neurocycle, it was the Lord, my way of saying, God, I give you permission to work in this area. God, I'm willing to be changed, mold me and shape me. And the Lord would meet me there. I went through this process, but it was extremely painful. And uh, I knew that it was going to be painful because the Lord told me when He showed me that root of rejection that it was going to hurt, that it was going to be painful. And so it kind of caused some delay in me getting started to beginning the neurocycle. And when I started, the enemy just really was fierce and trying to keep me in rejection. Satan wants you to feel that you're not loved. It was so bad that I even thought maybe I won't make it to heaven. I had feelings that I was worthless, that nobody cared about me. Even my children didn't want to be around me, that I was painful. Somebody once told me that I was a problem, that I was their problem. And I believed that lie. And I believed that I was people's problem. And I believed that I was a dangerous person because I was told before that I couldn't be around because I was too hurtful. And you can start to see how the rejection really affected my relationships, and it affected my thinking. It was affecting me in my work and my job. My behavior was changing. I didn't wake up and hug my children because I felt rejected by them, because I felt like I was a failure as a mother. I felt like I always let them down. I came to learn through the Neurocycle process and with the help of the Holy Spirit that there were roots that were from back when I was a child, birth. And so I have fallen in love with the Neurocycle process. But one thing along the way is I just wish that I had somebody like a best friend with me to go through this. And I tried to invite a few people, but wasn't successful in recruiting anyone, and tried to kind of help people to understand. But I think when we hear the word rejection, we don't really know what it is. But if I tell you feelings of inferiority, like it's never good enough, the perfectionism, I've came to find that the perfectionism that I had was part of that a result of the root of rejection. The striving for excellence, always trying to do better, and even pride and the criticism came from that root of rejection. I was a pretty critical person, and the Lord's been showing me and dealing with me, and how even my behavior towards others is being affected because of that root of rejection. Also, as a friend, I would always feel like, why do I have to always chase people down, and they don't they don't come to me? And I had all these thoughts in my head. But there's one thing that I realized is that my mind, I was seeing my life through a lens of rejection. There came a day where Dr. Caroline Leaf said in the app that I was using, because there is an app that you can use, and that was how I was following the Neurocycles. I wasn't totally alone. One, I had God on my side, Jesus, Holy Spirit with me, but then I also had Dr. Caroline Leaf through the app, and that was the help that I had. And she said once, "What if you woke up? Imagine your day without that toxic thought." And I thought, I never imagined my life that I could be accepted, and that was a day that I realized I I didn't make coffee for my husband because when I tried making the coffee before, like it was like, no, I can do it, I got it, or I didn't know how to do it, and I'd probably mess up. And I had this realization that I didn't hug him because I was confident that he didn't want to be hugged. I was sure my kids were disappointed in me, and they were upset with me for not being there and working too much. And I wouldn't I wouldn't greet them. I wouldn't hug them. And even if I were there, I felt rejected without even trying. And through the Neurocycle, I can even say now, I still don't make my husband's coffee. He's a little picky about that. Whatever. I don't drink coffee, so uh, He can do his coffee if he wants to, but I do hug my husband in the mornings. Not every morning, but I try to be intentional. And I give my hugs to my kids every single day, and they love it. And it was a process for me to overcome. I had to face a lot of hurts and learn to understand myself. I began to experience social anxiety and panic attacks because of my rejection. I would start something. I was cowardly in my work sometimes because I really wanted to do something and I believed in myself at some point, but then the rejection would hit in and I'd say no. And so that my behavior was a little maybe almost contradictory, where I might try to start something and then I just stop or drag my feet. And I even was dragging my feet on obeying the Lord when he would tell me to do things, and delayed assignments that he had given me, or just totally not done them, disobeyed because of that insecurity that the rejection caused. And through the Nero Cycle process, I learned to recognize my thoughts, to analyze my thoughts, to shape life differently instead of just living in the past and seeing my past as this is what happened and thinking that that's how my future has to be. I began to see things differently. She asked certain questions to challenge me to see things differently from a different lens, and to consider the situation from a different lens. And so it was definitely thought provoking. The Neurocycle uh, process is 3 cycles of 21 days. So it's 63-day process to detoxing. And this can be used, for me, it was used with rejection, but it can use with even overcoming grief. She's used it to help children to learn. She used an example of helping reading people in their academic success. And I have children, and I love that. I actually applied the Neurocycle with my son when he was dealing with insomnia in times of COVID, and when he had nightmares. I applied it, and I did not do this the entire 63 days, but it was so powerful. My son learned to. We worked together on understanding his thinking and helping him to assess his thoughts by first looking at his behaviors. So what we see is the behaviors, and then we have to get down. That's kind of the outside, as she says. We have to get down to those thoughts. It totally changed my life. It changed my life so much, and I wanted that somebody would be there for me. And if you know me, you know I just love helping other people. Not try to fix people, because that's not my goal. It's just to see that maybe there's a seed of potential that could be bigger, or see a tree that could be not just that could be even better. Just see someone just blossom, see someone heal, see someone restored. There is nothing better to me than just helping others. Leadership is at my core, and to me, leading is not telling people what to do. It's helping people to live their life at their fullest capacity and their fullest potential. And so I really, really, really want to go to the Neurocycle Institute. But if you don't know or haven't heard, and maybe never know me, never met me before, and this is the first time you're meeting me, I studied as a biomedical engineer at Georgia Tech, great school, by the grace of God. Don't know how I graduated, and had a dream to just get into the medical field. And one thing I loved was just helping people. Again, helping people, helping them to be healthy, helping them to be better. And I recently left my career with the hopes of transitioning into different aspects. There was multiple reasons why I left my career. I have other videos on that. But what I'm here to tell you today is I really want to be a certified facilitator for the Neurocycle, and I want your help. I'm asking you for help because I left my career, and with that comes a significant amount of finances, and I just don't have the money right now, and it's like a week away. So I know this is crazy, and I'm kind of just laying the card out there. just laying the invitation out there and see if anyone wants to help. And if it's God's will, the door's going to open in His time, and I know that. And I just hope it would be next week. It's the beginning of August, August 4th. Is I think it's 4th or 3rd. At the beginning of August is the start of the program, and there are only 3 spots left. But I'm praying God just hold one spot for me, because it's changed my life so much. I recently started to I did this process, and you say, well, Linda, you said it was 63 days. You've been doing this for 6 months. The root of rejection was so deep, and I honestly, it was painful. There were times that I did delay, and I had to pick myself back up. And that's why one of the other reasons I want to be a facilitator, because I want to be that person that's there for somebody to say, I'll help you. When I was dealing with insomnia, I had a program through my work, and I had a coach. And if it weren't for my coach keeping me there and pressing along and helping me, I probably wouldn't have made it through the program. And maybe the program could have got through it a little sooner with the Neurocycle, but I didn't have a coach with me. And I want to be that coach for somebody. I want to be that helper for somebody. And it totally changed my life. And I see there's such a need, especially after COVID. Suicide rate, wow, it's increased 30% between 2000 to 2020. And the CDC says that's 1 death per every 11 minutes. Wow. And this is in the U.S. According to the Trust for America's Health, deaths associated with alcohol, drugs, and suicide took the lives of 763,000 Americans in 2020, a 20% 1-year increase in the combined death rate and the highest number of substance abuse misuse deaths ever recorded for a single year. When we think about COVID, I mean, these statistics are real. And why am I talking about suicide? Because I know a dear lady who I was trying to invite to join me in the neurocycling over rejection. And her and I it didn't work out again for whatever reason. I ended up doing it alone. But her and I got to talking, and she confessed with me that she was dealing with rejection herself at the same time that I was. And she said that she confessed that she was suicidal. And she said that, this lady's just been a blessing to me, but that I might have just, she might just one day not be there. And to me, this helps save lives. We think of rejection like that, but that's how the enemy works. He can take something small like that seed that was planted in me since birth and just grow it until it comes to the point of suicide. And I want to help save lives in a different manner in the mental health area. I mentioned later that I want this to be part of my business. I have an idea for a business using whole health, mental, physical, and spiritual, because I believe health issues are not just one-dimensional. Sometimes we go to the doctor, and the doctor sees the physical, but he doesn't know the spiritual behind it. I met a man with an ulcer on his foot, and he was suffering because of diabetes. He had this ulcer, but then he told me, and I said, huh? And I said, tell me a little more about it. I started listening to him, and he told me his family bloodline, maybe his uncle or his dad, like he had a bunch of people, and his grandfather, he named like 3 different generations or so that had died from this and lost limbs. And I said, that's generational. So the doctor can get you help on one dimension, but he's not helping you with the spiritual. He's not teaching you how to fight this in the spiritual realm before we not battle against flesh, but against spiritual warfares, against principalities of this world. And then you think about it, and how is his mental health? because now he's being told, he's every day wakes up and he has this struggle. And so he has, probably this depression of, well, I might lose my leg. And so how is this mental health where what I want to do is take this multi-dimension and say, hey, we've got this. Let's tackle this from all points, because this is not single dimension, but whole healthcare. And so anyhow, that's a little bit more to kind of what I want to do in the future also. And also, I mentioned sleep, insomnia. Insomnia is there's a lot of insomnia out there. According to the Sleep Foundation, between 10 to 30% of adults struggle with chronic insomnia. And I was dealing with chronic insomnia. I mean, I wanted to just cut my head off. I wanted to switch my brain off. I dealt with a lot, and I came to realize it was up here that I needed. There were some maybe physical things, exercise and getting sunlight, but a lot of it really was mental. And you think, how many people are on sleeping pills? And what is the negative effect? Dr. Caroline Leaf talked about that in the conference, of the effect that these sleeping pills have on your body, especially for long term. It's amazing how many people, 30 to 40% of older adults, suffer from insomnia. That is not the quality of life that I would love to see my friends and family and community live with. And so why am I on here just humbling myself, saying, hey, do you want to be part of this? Because maybe you say, you know what, I see there's a need and we need that, but I got my career. Maybe I'll help her. Do you want to help me? Pitch in. I just don't have the finances right now. I had waited for the program and had money set aside, but due to my health issues, needed to take time off of work, and used a lot of the savings that I had and hoped to use for the Neurocycle Institute. And a week after leaving my resignation, I got the email or notification that the Neurocycle Institute started. Great! And I was like, yes, I can't wait. And I was so excited. I was like, great, God definitely is going to lead me. I know he called me to leave that job, and I'm going to go do this, and I can't wait. And then I registered, and I was like, oh, there's an approval process. Oh, okay, so you can't just go. It's not for just anybody. You have to be selected and approved to get into this class and program. I was like, great. So I applied, and then I was like, oh, how much money? So with the discount that's going on right now, at $6,000, I would need possibly a place to stay. Might be able to find someone to stay with, and flight. So I think we're looking at like maybe $7,000, and I just don't have it. But if you want to be any part of this new business, any part of assisting me, I'm just inviting, and I will send details where you can make a donation if you want to contribute, if the Lord stirs up your heart to just pour into this. Spread the word if you know someone that maybe is affected or has a personal story that says, you know what, I lost someone to suicide. I know what you're talking about, and I want to help save lives. Maybe someone that's struggling from insomnia says, yeah, I need your help. Go get trained so you can help me. I want to invite you. This Neurocycle process is the Institute helps you to be certified. You work with Dr. Caroline Leaf. She helps you to learn how to turn this into a business and how to make a living off of it. So she is a great support that would be available for me also, and share her knowledge. And, this process can be used for a lot of different things. There's a lot of loss going out there, and I've seen that there is, she has many neurocycles in her app. I encourage you, by the way, even if you don't support, like for your own sake, go take a look. She has a book, Cleaning Up the Mental Mess. I don't have it right here by me, or I would share it with you, but Cleaning Up the Mental Mess is the book that she has, and the Nero Cycle app is the app that I am referring to that I used, and the institute is where I want to go to get certified. So she has many neurocycles, and I just wrote a list of things this process can be used with. When I say toxic thoughts, what am I talking about? Well, rejection is one. Anger, wow, how many shooting and violence are out there because our thoughts are a mess. We have the wrong thinking. We have toxic thinking. We can't get our anger. We have anger and rage and road rage. Insomnia, anxiety. I mentioned a little bit about that. I know what anxiety is. That is a real thing, and that can be controlled in your mind. Depression, suicide, substance abuse. Because why do I say substance abuse? This doesn't help you with substance abuse, but I think that this helps preventing substance abuse, because what we do is when our mind is a mess, we go turning to other things, and we don't really, for me in my case, it was a lot of social media, and the sleeplessness was just mindless stuff to try to not address and to try to suppress my real thoughts and feelings. A lot of divorce is happening because we aren't getting our thoughts under control. I say that because, rejection starts when you're a baby, and I felt rejected very much by my husband. A lot of rejection, but I came to realize it wasn't just there any new rejection triggers, but it was from deep roots from childhood. And loneliness. How many people are suffering from loneliness right now? Fear. So much fear out there. And especially after COVID, Neurocycle Institute is something that I really want to do. I only regret maybe I didn't maybe ask more, try harder to get out there. I kind of just was praying about it and didn't really know. And I said, you know what? I'll just get a camera, just get on, just tell people my story, just a very little bit. It has changed my life. And so I invite you, with no further ado, to donate, to pour in. If you want to be a part of this and help me get to the Neurocycle Institute, I still have faith I can get there. I don't know how, but I think God's going to make a way. And I know that it will be in His time. But do you want to be part of this? Do you want to help me? If so, thank you for your donation. Thank you so much. And I am saying by faith, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for donating. Thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for believing in me. And if you don't even have a penny to give, thank you for encouraging me. God bless you and take care. I can't wait to share a video later to tell you that I went and how awesome it was. And it's kind of scary because it's pretty intense. But if I made it through Georgia Tech, and I don't know how I'll get through this institute, it's intensive training. I believe it's 4 days of intensive training, and followed up by exams and other things. So it's no joke. It's a pretty serious thing. Dr. Caroline Leaf is a little tough, her husband said, I think. So it'll be good. Thank you again, and God bless you.